Hey Taurus, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Blue Mountains Tarot. This is going to be your general reading for the second half of August, 15th to the 31st, or whenever you read this or see this video rather. These are general readings. Please keep that in mind. Only take messages that resonate, leave the rest for others. I do offer personal readings. Below in the description box is where you'll find my email address to get in touch for a personal reading. When I started your reading, guys, the Hermit was at the bottom of the deck, and I don't know, it sort of felt like it set the tone for you at this time where maybe you just want to be alone, walk away from a situation. Maybe you have to go to the extreme of just ghosting or moving on or something like that. So Hermit, I like the card because it's about going within and contemplating, inner contemplation. What do you need? What do you want? Where are you seeing yourself going? So some of you may have to let go, walk away. Maybe you have a lot of Virgo in your chart, possibly. We'll see. What's the message? And Virgo's actually coming up now that I think of that. Virgo's at the end of August. So it could be because we're in Virgo season. There's the Emperor. It's more of the Aries action way of doing things your own way, taking charge. I don't think the Emperor has an issue walking away either to make his own commitments, his or her own commitments. What is this about, Emperor? So we're starting off with a lot of strong energy. Ace of Wands. Wow. Okay, Taurus, you're creating. You're in a place here of a new beginning where you're saying, okay, I want to really show up for myself. I'm ready for the positive change. I'm ready for my growth. I'm ready to develop, grow, abundance, passion. You got a lot of fire there. A lot of you are stepping into your strengths, your power. Eight of Pentacles, work. So a lot of you, some of you might be creating ideas when it comes to an entrepreneurial venture. Okay, wanting to be your own boss, creating ideas, creating things. Some of you could be, there could be a little bit of study attached to that Eight of Pentacles, maybe learning or reading or doing a little bit of that work to understand how you can bring your ideas, your creation to fruition. I feel like there's a bit of a higher education here for some of you. So there's definitely positive new beginnings, changes, creativity, bossing up, growth. Your hard work pays off because you're passionate about a new opportunity, a new beginning. You're ready. You're ready for change here, to take your life in a place where it's like, you want to see the results. Put this over here. We've got Four Swords. Let's see. Something here has, again, created a little bit of exhaustion with a Tower. Wow. So there's that ending here, Taurus, which is going to bring you into this new beginning. I think whatever you're leaving behind you was very exhausting, which is where, it had to, it feels like a sense of collapse. Hopefully none of you went through that, but some of you, there feels like emotional exhaustion of some form of a collapse of a job, a collapse of a relationship, the fallout of something. There's an ending here. And I think it could be because you decided to take your own path. You decided to let go, walk away. Something has, let me just see here. Tell me about this. The Tower, what's going on for Taurus with this? Nine of Cups. It's interesting. Okay, I'm getting this thing about, they got what they asked for. They got what they wished. And so did you, in a sense. You're going to come out of this situation that sometimes I think people would see the Tower as a bad thing, an ending, something terrible happening or unexpected. But I think that There's a thing here about whether this is for you or maybe the other party, is that they kind of got what they asked for. They got, like, be careful what you wish for, because if you don't want something, then it's going to be pulled away from you. Or it could be the other way around. In this case, it's pulling away, ending something. You know, maybe someone saying, I don't like this, I don't like you, I don't want this, I don't need you, or whatever this is. And it's like, okay, well, that's done. We're done. You got your wish. Well, you got your answer. So I think it comes out beneficial for you, Taurus. There is a beneficial happiness here, a sense that things had to end because you may not have realized. Again, wish fulfillment. You're starting up here with the Emperor, the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, which I feel like you're finally saying, I'm getting really what I need, and an ending to an exhausting situation has created the wish for maybe somebody else. I'm getting this. I'm hearing you get what you wished for, or you got what you wished for. Anything else? Is there anything on the other side of this tower? There's definitely a sense of contentment and being like, okay, that finally had to come down, that had to end. It would have wore you down here, Taurus. You could have, with the Eight of Pentacles, been Eight of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Ace of Wands. You could have been contributing or putting in a lot of your effort, your energy, your ideas, your passion into something that ultimately was burning you out. When you burn out, you can't give from an empty cup, as they say, Nine of Cups. And I feel like it had to come to an end. There's a thing here about like somebody that would give their shirt off their back kind of thing. You walked away maybe with nothing. You were like, take the shirt off my back too. Have it all. Is that what you want? Have it all. Take it all. The Sun, happiness. So the other side of this, when I'm asking what's on the other side, what's after this tower, the Sun card, brand new beginnings for you, Taurus, in a very positive way. This is something that you needed to open up for, to see clearly as to what you were, you know, it's kind of like now that the rubble, now that this is ended, now that something is finished, you're kind of clear, seeing like what the truth was or what was really taking place here. I think you realized where you weren't getting all that you were working hard for. You weren't getting your wish fulfillment here. You weren't getting all the desires or the needs met for the trade-off of what you've been putting in. And I feel like a tower with a sun is saying, there's no more shadow. It's almost like the tower, this situation, this structure, this thing was hiding the sun. It was in the way. It was shadowing you. It was creating a shadow which was draining you, exhausting you. So it had to get, it's like it had to move out of the way to allow the sun to come in for you to light that torch, that Ace of Wands, to grow, to build, to do what you were really meant to be doing or what you wanted to do. Your work being now more on, or your efforts, you being a little bit more in charge, I guess. So you come out of this tower energy, Taurus, with a lot of happiness, with a new beginning. This is something that feels much happier, much better. Definitely. You've got Leo energy. This is happening this month, August. End of July, Leo season. Till the end of August. New beginnings. Okay, anything else? What else does Leo? On another, anything else? Anything, what are we at? Only 9 minutes. Let's take a look. Anything around connections, relationships? Is there anything else? I think whatever this ending is here, Leo, it does feel a little bit more work. I don't know. Could be anything, but better outcome for you. More new beginnings. Anything with love, relationships, connections, quickly. We'll do a little tap in on there. Queen of Swords. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, we've got two female energies here. Relationships, connections. The Ten of Wands. I think you're learning something here, Taurus, about, again, it could be about taking care of yourself right now, putting a little bit of energy and effort into yourself. I do feel that you're given some form of practical advice, sound advice, down to earth advice, someone keeping it real for you, somebody who could be showing you like, okay, well, this is what makes sense kind of thing. I think you're you're very down. I think you have your own sense of practicality here as well, Taurus. You kind of know how to get things done, and push comes to shove, I feel like you're going to get the things or the situation in a relationship what you need. But there is something here about realizing or learning that something isn't quite working out if it's starting to weigh you down. If, maybe there could be somebody here who's saying, ask me for help. Don't be afraid to communicate your needs. Don't be afraid to communicate that I need support or help in something. But I feel like there's a bit of an end to a heaviness, a burden, something that's holding you down in a way. I feel like you're kind of coming through this. You've worked through something in your connection that is now a little bit more grounded, practical. Maybe you were not speaking, or maybe you hadn't had the discussion or the decisions or something. Clarify all of that. What's the outcome? The judgment. Yeah, you've come to this place here, Taurus, where I think you've discussed a big decision about something that was maybe a little bit heavy or important in your relationship, in your connection. I feel like you've got some good advice around you. You've got some sound judgment that allowed you to make the right decision to finally let go or remove whatever was weighing you or your connection down. Okay, so I feel like you're moving forward in a really good way. I feel like some of you have definitely shed something that you had to make. Maybe it felt like a big decision. Maybe it was something you didn't decide on for a while. It could have been weighing on you and you're like, I know this isn't proper or healthy or good, but I'm not going to call it out yet. Maybe you were giving the benefit of the doubt. So in this, you could have sacrificed a little bit or gave away a little bit more of yourself to try to nurture that other person, to try to take care of, to care for. But you could have neglected a little bit of yourself, which started to show evidence in your life, in your relationship. It started to show that you were like, I can't carry this all the time. I can't keep going with this. So I have to make a decision. And you may have, I feel like some of you got some sound advice. I feel like some of you said, look, Taurus, like you're smarter than that, or that, this is the practical thing. Does that make sense to you? Is this rooted in a good situation where something is nurtured properly for both people to grow or for both people to do well? So I feel like you've come through this and you're finally letting go of something that no longer is holding you down. It's actually opening up your life. You have this nice tie. It feels like woven into your reading, Taurus, of the decisions, the new beginnings, the good things, the happy things. It's kind of like some things have to fold is what I'm getting. They have to fold, they have to end, and then it kind of ripple effect, or it moves into other areas of your life. So it feels like with one comes the other, maybe vice versa. With the other comes this. There's a sense of like that ending had to happen. That was part of the burden. Maybe that was weighing down on your connection. Now both things seem to be moving up and onward for you. You're free. There's something here, Taurus, that tells me you're kind of free from a bit of a heavier energy or something that was just, I think that you were holding up something. You were putting the energy, the nurture into something, maybe more than one circumstance, like work and or relationship. You were like, I'm willing to make do helping this situation, putting in your nurture, your time and energy, because you know that that's what that wish was for that person. But then you realize, like, you know, this was eventually going to shine a light or show up where you can't keep giving like this. So something is now in favor for you to start doing what's best for you, to grow your life, your relationship. Connections here look like something comes through the other side in a positive direction, in a positive way, putting the past behind you, putting heavy energy behind you. And it required like a final decision that I think you were trying to work with. And I think the longer you stayed in it, or the less you had to learn a lesson here. And sometimes it takes working through things or putting in the time and energy to really learn the lesson. Some lessons are like instantaneous red flags. You know, that's a no, you're done, you're moving on. Some things take, you wanted to play this out. You wanted to play it out till you realized for yourself. So maybe somebody was trying to give you a little bit of practical advice, something like that, but I think you just had to go through it. Simple as that. Nothing wrong with that. You took the time that you needed to take. Okay? Should this situation happen to you again, or if you encounter this again, it will not take you nearly the amount of time. Okay? 7 of Wands. So you're prepared. You're prepared. You know now what shields to put up when needed. So, okay. I'm gonna leave your tarot there. We're gonna do an Oracle of the Birds message for you guys, Taurus, and see what's going on. Let's see, what's the message for Taurus? Nice. The soul bird, the boss soul bird. Okay, this is human bird. Essence of the soul, there is a time for everything. See life as a gift. I love this card. I love these Hindu messages. The bird, half human, half bird. In ancient Egypt, Ba, the soul bird, is the symbol for the essence of a human soul. It is pictured as a falcon with a human head. It represents the personality, the spiritual manifestation that leaves the body at the end of life and is an integral part of each person's individuality. Ba is the symbol of the ascension and immortality of the soul after death. I am closely intertwined. It's interesting. I felt that intertwining with your reading, with you, and being shaped by you and your experiences in your sacred life on earth. What constitutes your personality, your individuality? What makes you unique? Is it your warmth, your humor, your charm, your kindness, your helpfulness, your serving for higher goals? Your striving for higher goals. All those traits that make you this beautiful, unique part of creation become an eternal part of you, a part of us. See yourself in all of your greatness and beauty, and accept life for the precious gift that it is. More meanings: essence of the soul, wanderer between this world and the afterlife, and the symbol of rebirth. This would be a very, very rare, maybe not rare, I don't know. I wonder if any of you can make the comment if some of you have had a near-death experience, a sense of getting in touch with the afterlife. Maybe some of you had a near-death experience. I don't know how common or rare. I feel like it's rare, but maybe not. Because so symbol of rebirth. I don't know. I just feel that there could be just one person out there. I don't know. It feels like somebody here may have had a near-death experience where they saw the other side, and now they know, or now they can kind of understand or comprehend going back and forth from this life to the afterlife, reminding yourself of truth, reminding yourself of love, getting caught up in the 3D world, and then being like, oh yeah, I know the truth to things, or I've had this near-death experience. There's a lot of beautiful stories out there who have had near-death experiences. Okay, your affirmation, Taurus, and then we're done. I am a spiritual being having a human experience for a period of time, and as a spiritual being, I have access to all levels and dimensions of being. So again, connecting with your higher self, your spiritual path, realizing that There's a lot more deeper things. And I think a lot of you are tapping into the creator within yourself. You're tapping into your potential. You're realizing a different level of greatness beyond your achievements of this world. There's like, you're maybe more focusing on the spiritual growth achievement of being in a higher place of love, or being in a more centered, grounded place. So, because I like this Judgment card, it feels a little afterlife, karmic levels. It feels a little bit like Judgment Day, Judgment Call. You've had something there that brought you maybe to a different place in your life. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, Taurus. I want to wish you guys a great day. Thanks again for hitting the like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like. Let me know if any of you have experienced that. I'm very curious. And I'll see you guys soon. Okay, take care.